Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news folks. When we talk about the Cleveland Browns heading into the 2025 NFL season, there's a lot to get excited about, but also some intriguing questions that could define the future of this franchise. The Browns, traditionally, have been a team with a rich history, a passionate fan base, and a desire to finally climb back to the top of the AFC. And this year, it feels like everything is on the table. From the new additions to the quarterback room to the potential strategic moves that could shake up the division, the Browns are at a crossroads, and the stakes are higher than ever. Let's start by talking about that quarterback depth chart, because it's really the centerpiece of the team's current situation. The Browns have an interesting mix of talent and experience, featuring the veteran Joe Flacco, the promising rookie Shedeur Sanders, and the third-round pick Dillon Gabriel. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. How does this all fit together? Well, it's not just about having bodies. It's about the strategic positioning for the season ahead. Joe Flacco, who rejoined Cleveland last year, has been nothing short of impressive. His leadership, his calm under pressure, and his experience in high-stakes situations make him a natural candidate to lead this team if needed. After all, Flacco's playoff experience, combined with his ability to mentor younger quarterbacks, gives the Browns a valuable safety net. But then, there's Shedeur Sanders, the young quarterback drafted in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft, who has been turning heads since day one. Despite being a later pick, Sanders' performance and leadership qualities have earned him the nickname leader in the clubhouse from some NFL analysts, including former champions like Chris Canty. That's no small praise. Sanders has showcased a natural ability to command the huddle, demonstrating poise beyond his years, and his arm talent and football IQ are visibly developing at a rapid pace. It's clear that the Browns see in him a potential franchise quarterback of the future. The question is, how soon will he be ready to take over, and what does that mean for the veteran Flacco? And then, there's Dillon Gabriel, the third-round pick, who also finds himself in a tricky spot. Gabriel, a talented quarterback out of Oklahoma, has shown flashes of brilliance, especially with his accuracy and quick release, traits reminiscent of Tua Tagovailoa. The Browns' strategy with Gabriel might be to develop him gradually, but with Flacco's veteran leadership and Sanders' rising stock, Gabriel's window for a starting role appears narrower than many expected when he was drafted. It's a classic quarterback dilemma. Do you develop him behind the scenes or look to trade him during the season if Sanders outperforms him? That's a strategic decision that could very well define the Browns' season and beyond. Now, let's pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Because what we're really talking about here is the possibility of the Browns making a bold move, potentially trading Gabriel during the 2025 season if Sanders proves to be the clear-cut starter. That's a move that could reshape their roster, but more importantly, it's a move that could be driven by the team's desire to maximize their Super Bowl window. Cleveland has been knocking on the door for years now, and with the pieces they have, especially on defense and special teams, they're looking to put everything together and make a real push. But what about the bigger picture? If you look at the AFC North, the division is as competitive as ever. The Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers are all loaded with talent, and every game counts. The Browns, with their roster, have a real shot to not only contend, but to establish themselves as a dominant force. The quarterback position, naturally, is at the heart of that contention. And the team's strategic planning around Flacco, Sanders, and Gabriel could be what ultimately pushes Cleveland over the edge. Now, let's talk a little about the similarities between this situation and some recent NFL stories. You might remember how the Patriots handled their quarterback scenarios with Drake May and Joe Milton. They invested heavily in May, who became their franchise guy, and then traded Milton, a highly sought-after prospect, to make room for their future. That kind of approach, building around your young quarterback while managing veteran assets, is exactly what the Browns might consider doing with Sanders and Gabriel. It's all about the timing and knowing when to make the move for maximum benefit. And speaking of Gabriel, one of his most impressive traits is his accuracy, especially on those short to medium throws. If you've watched him play, you'll notice how precise he is when making quick, decisive passes, whether it's slants, out routes, or quick screens. That's exactly the kind of timing and ball placement that's so critical in today's NFL offenses, especially with the speed of the game and the emphasis on quick, high-percentage throws. And Gabriel's ability to lead receivers into space and maximize yards after catch makes him a valuable asset, even if he's currently behind Sanders and Flacco on the depth chart. Now, it's also important to acknowledge that Gabriel, being left-handed and possessing a lightning-quick release, isn't afraid to throw those 50-50 balls downfield. That's a trait that can be both a strength and a weakness. Sometimes those throws can turn into big plays, but they also carry risk if not executed perfectly. He had success at Oregon, but like all young quarterbacks, he's still refining his decision-making, especially in high-pressure situations like red zone scenarios where mistakes can be costly. That's part of the development process, and it's why the Browns are in a unique position, keeping their options open for the season. So, looking ahead, the Browns might consider making a trade involving Gabriel during the season if Sanders continues to impress and Flacco remains reliable. That would give Gabriel a chance to go to a team where he can get more playing time, develop further, and maybe even step into a starting role sooner rather than later. It's all about maximizing value, making the right moves at the right time. Cleveland's front office is known for being strategic, and with the talent they have, it's very plausible that we see some roster shuffling as the season progresses. Beyond the quarterback room, though, this team is loaded with potential. The defense remains one of the most formidable units in the league, with playmakers capable of turning games around in an instant. The coaching staff, led by Kevin Stefanski, continues to develop a system that emphasizes both a strong running game and explosive passing, which plays perfectly into the strengths of the quarterbacks they have. And with the division so competitive, every game becomes a chess match, deciding how to best utilize your roster to outsmart your opponents. Looking at the broader picture, the Browns have a real shot not just to make the playoffs, but to make a deep run. Their offensive line is solid, their defense is top tier, and their special teams have been improving steadily. But everything hinges on that quarterback decision. If Sanders develops as expected, and Flacco continues to provide veteran stability, the Browns could be in an excellent position to surprise many this season. However, if the team feels the need to shake things up, say, trading Gabriel to a team hungry for a talented quarterback, that could open even more doors for Cleveland. And let's not forget the history of this franchise. The Browns have always been about resilience, about turning setbacks into comebacks. The current quarterback situation is just the latest chapter in that story. This team has the talent, the coaching, and the desire to finally reach the mountaintop. It's about managing the roster, making the smart moves, and trusting the process. The fans are eager, the city is energized, and the players are ready to leave everything on the field. So as we look towards training camp and the start of the season, keep your eyes on Sanders, Flacco, and Gabriel. Watch how the team's strategy unfolds, how the coaching staff manages the quarterback reps, and how the front office might maneuver to optimize their roster. We could see some surprises, some bold moves, but one thing is certain: it's going to be an exciting ride for Browns fans. The potential is there, the pieces are coming together, and this season could be the one where everything clicks. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this quarterback situation? Do you believe Sanders is ready to take the reins? Would you be comfortable seeing Gabriel traded during the season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Thanks for being with us today, and let's keep the passion alive. Because this season, the Browns are aiming high.